What do you need? Liddy's pretty broken up about Tezzeret. I hate seeing her like this. All right, where were we? After my mother died, I was pretty low. I didn't know how to support myself without taking jobs, but I didn't want to do anything to disrespect my ma's memory. I wound up taking a merchant escort job for nearly nothing, and that took me out near the Evermoors. Along the way, we found this young elven priestess. She was hungry, deeply wounded, but confident, passionate. She joined the caravan and we became friends. She was just getting to know her goddess back then, and I got to see the faith bloom in her. Nothing more glorious in the world than an elf finding her way. Since then, we've been inseparable. We've kept each other safe, and she stopped me from heading back down the wrong path. That's all there is to it. Dreams wander, but she's likely best woman I'll ever meet. But we're not there. We're closer than family. Someday, maybe. But, yeah. Thanks for listening to me prattle on. Now you know me better than my own mother. Like most people, I guess. Don't be a stranger.
We must talk. I cannot abide that Ishkin creature's treatment of my mentor's corpse. He desecrates her memory by his mere presence, and I will not stand for it. That said, this quest is as much yours as mine, and I understand why we need him. So please, do me the favor of asking Ishkin to allow Tezzeret's corpse to be buried. Thank you. It will put my heart to rest once my good mentor has received her final rites. Now we can talk about something else. In reading through Tezzeret's journals, I have found a peculiar list. On it are names of people she tried to save, and one of them is my childhood friend Serik. If he lives, then I am not the only survivor of my village. The list says that he was being held captive by a drow priestess named Zinciana. I have never heard that name, but I wonder if perhaps our resident spy has. I would appreciate it if you could speak to Dalinir about this. If he knows the name, he might know where we could find Zinciana, and perhaps Serik. Yes, he was. If the gods smile on us this day, and we can save him from captivity, then perhaps I have been forgiven for my childhood mistake. I am sorry. Finding Tezzeret's body here, it has shaken me. And that foul creature's treatment of her only makes it worse. I shall continue my tale. I suppose I should provide some context regarding my anger toward the drow in our midst. You see, when the village was attacked, the drow slaughtered most of my people. But a few unfortunates, including myself, were captured. When I was taken prisoner, the drow separated me from my family and kept me out of the light. They forced us, even the children, into back-breaking labor. They compelled many of us to fight for their amusement, most often to the death. Thank you, but I considered it the gods' retribution for the loss of the Moon Tear. I developed a deep hatred for the drow during my captivity. I have seen and suffered the cruelty and brutality they muster, all at the word of their demon goddess Lolth. My family died there, as far as I know, as did the rest of my village. My people are no more. I feel I must leave it at that. I still seethe and shudder when I remember those times. The Lady of Dreams go with you.
How can you serve the illustrious Lord of the Dark? Well, therein lies a tale. I was born fully formed in the coin purse of a Kuatoa named Flibblebloop. No, wait, it was his belt pouch. Either way, I killed him. I wasn't always Lord of the Dark, you know. There were others before me, and there will be others after me. That's how time works. I figured that out. Me. Needless to say, I was surrounded by cracked eggshells and a wall of bones that I called Muro. And it wasn't enough. I had to do something, and I don't remember what that something was. So, I'll tell you this other story. There was one time I was captured by ogres and taken to a forest of myconid houses. That was a low time in my life. I remember it fondly. Long story short, I escaped from my bindings, slaughtered the ogres single-handedly, and I fed their flesh to the myconid children. I became a mushroom hero that day, moments before they exiled me for also killing myconids. I'm tired, but nap, boy! I desire sleeps. Shh! He can hear you. Or he could if he were alive. Well, she does she? Well, tell her I will gladly bury Golgaman the instant she comes over here and gives me a stern expression. On second thought, not even then. No, not even the baleful eyes of a surface elf can frighten me. I am the Lord of the Dark! You know what? Take it. Golgaman was acting strange anyway. Insisting that he's the king of the Sturges, that sort of thing. I hope that elf is happy. I see no one here trusts me. But I am always what I am. You just have to figure out what that is. It's not as if I like to dismember people randomly. I choose very deliberately. For example, if you're a friend of mine, you get priority. No, I said they get priority. Keep up. Fine. I'll be here, not thinking about killing you. Golgaman is asking, what are you buying?
Have you spoken to Dalanir yet? Thank you. I will perform the final rites over her at our first opportunity. At last, my mentor and savior can find rest. The Lady of Dreams go with you. wonder if I might, bend your ear for a moment? While I was imprisoned by those knights, I heard whispers of a succubus named Madalith. The knights believed that she has appeared in Luskan and seeks a relic known as the Infernal Stone. No, not directly. But I'm certain that if Madalith finds the Infernal Stone, she'll track down the rangers that kept it from her for so long. Which means she'll come for me. And that makes her your problem too. A band of rangers I lived among within the Ardeep Forest guarded the very same Infernal Stone. We roamed the forest, never staying still for long, and with our numbers, the relic was well protected. I became close with Carissa Windroot, the band's leader. She was smart, sleek, powerful, and she kept the stone around her neck at all times. Often I begged her to bury it or to send it away. I feared for her safety. No. Madalith found her long ago. The fiend seduced my friend, dominated her, and tore Carissa apart right in front of us. Only to learn that she had finally listened to me. Carissa must have hidden the Infernal Stone before her death, though she never told me where it was. I believe she would have wanted me to find it, to safeguard it. And she certainly wouldn't want it in the possession of that seductress. I'd suggest we ask around in Luskan. The local merchants might know if there's been a sighting of such a valuable relic. When we discover who has the Infernal Stone, we take it before that vile Madalith can wrap her claws around it. In the meantime, was there something else you need? Curious about me, are you? Well, that might just get you rewarded with a story. My brother Bellamy and I were born in a small village called Red Larch, just north of Waterdeep. Dreadful place, to be honest, but it was home. We sought adventure, even as children. I remember one time when we embarked on a legendary quest to ambush an older boy who had bullied Bellamy. Poor Bellamy. He was the one who suggested we leave Red Larch. My brother was never in danger of being too bright, but I loved him. And when he decided to leave our home, I happily went with him. Of course they did. But between Bellamy's demands and my own pleadings, they saw fit to let us go. As long as we took care of each other. Not long after we left home, we were separated. By which I mean Bellamy wanted to go to Waterdeep and become a drunk, while I wished to become a ranger and a scout. So he headed to town, and I disappeared into the Ardeep Forest. And much to my complete lack of surprise, Bellamy was a success at being a drunk. And a total failure at anything else. It's rather sad to think of it now. Perhaps we could change the subject. Bellamy's an emotional topic for me. And I'm not an attractive crier. Of course. Everything I've heard about the Duergar tells me that Grackle Stew is no place for a woman like me. I enjoy dancing, singing, and other forms of social amusement. A life that's all about work sounds terribly boring. Though, I guess that depends on the work. Come back anytime. I'll be waiting.
The time has come for me to ask for your assistance in a personal matter. I've received troubling reports from the Gilded Eye chapter house. In the wake of your recent visit, many of Jesia's followers have been vying for power. The dissenters disapprove of my traveling with you. They believe me soft, or accuse me of being influenced by demonic powers. And I cannot deny that the evidence is compelling. The sooner we do, the easier it will be to rout this rebellion and resume tracking down your demon and its minions. It would be to our strategic advantage to clear this potential front of enemies. As you will.
I saw you speaking with Lydia. I have seen this list of hers with the names of Drow's slaves whom Tezzeret hoped to save. And yes, I have heard of Lady Zinciana. I am a diviner and a spy, my friend. Lady Zinciana is a high priestess of Lolth. It would amuse her to keep a moon elf slave. She would lavish him with gifts and praise and take it all away at the slightest provocation. She ministers at the Shrine of Lolth at Undok. I'll happily mark it on our map if you and Lydia want to confront her. Legions of grey dwarves marching in unison like clockwork. I sense a dangerous mind subjugated by something even more powerful. Hazy, but inevitable without a doubt. It begins as many stories do, with my birth, followed very closely by my first brush with death. I was the second male child born to an utterly devout young priestess of Lolth. My mother claimed she heard the Spider Queen call for my extermination, and she bade my older sister Talistra to do the deed. My dear sister was more than willing to carry out Lolth's will. Moments after my birth, Talistra dragged me away to undertake the sacrifice. My sister would have succeeded had it not been for my eldest brother. He used his fledgling magic to shield me, and that is how my complicated history with my brother Tassilis began. That will have to remain a mystery for now. We have better things to do than sit and talk. Let us speak again later. Perhaps I'll feel more like dredging up the past. Legions of grey... It has been wonderful. We must do this again sometime.
Have you spoken to Dalanir yet? Thank you. The sooner we find Zinciana, the sooner we can free my old friend. I am sorry. The Lady of Dreams go with you.
Right away. I can do that. Of course. As you wish.
Thanks again for helping Hobbit find his way back.
At once.
As you wish. Yes. Of course. Sure.
Welcome back.
As you wish. Yes. Of course. Sure. As you wish. You need something?
How may I serve?
In the name of Sehanine.
Perfect strike! Can I help? Was that all?
Yes.
Welcome to Dark Lake District, the only place in Gracklstew that non-Durgar are tolerated, except for us Darrow. See, I told you I'd get you here. A minor feat for someone of my ability. Pay attention and you may learn something. Now, you're looking for that moon tier thing, right? Probably an Overlake hold. That's where I'd keep it if I were a king. Which I am. Of the dark. The only problem is the 10,000 angry Durgar between here and there. We're pretty much all going to die. I put 50 gold on the Durgar.
Can you get us past the guards?
We should speak with Omar and Nut. They're buffoons and well beneath me, and they pretty much want me dead, but they should be able to get us into the city, right before they kill me.
I give the orders round here. Now, let's go.